Evening, everyone. Welcome to the live Team Alliance training session for Tuesday, September 29th. Time right now is approximately 10:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Before we get started with tonight's training, as usual, I would like to welcome our new students. Those of you joining us in training for the first time, whether you're in attendance with us live tonight or you're watching the replay of this, you have without a doubt made a very wise decision by choosing to train here and acquiring this skill set. This is going to prove to be a life-changing experience for you if you decide to take things seriously, you follow instructions that you're given, and you plug in. That's really all it takes to ultimately put yourself in a situation where you're going to set yourself free through trading. The blueprint for what it is that we do is already laid out. There's nothing that you have to try to add to it or, take this out. I'm going to try to tweak it and make it my own. There's no need to do that, and you can't do that because that would be the equivalent of you trying to take the market itself and make it your own. It's simply impossible. You can't beat the market, but you can join it. See, you can be in sync with it. TA has done that successfully, and that's why when you plug into TA, you ultimately are plugging into the market. You're putting yourself right in position to learn how to deal with yourself and overcome the things necessary within your mindset for you to be able to execute the process that you're going to learn here, okay? It is very important that you follow instructions, okay? That's not anything to be taken lightly. Well, Mark, what should I start off doing? I see 700 videos in this playlist. Should I just start with the first one? No. You should only be watching video number 301 and video 301 mindset. That's it. You shouldn't be doing nothing else if you just started. That's the first instruction. There's a reason for that. Okay? Well, Mark, what's the reason? Don't worry about the reason. Just know that there is one. There's a method to the madness that goes on here, if you want to call it that. And it's really not madness. What it is we're actually getting rid of the madness. Because to me, it's madness for you to consistently keep losing and not winning in the market when you don't have to. So the purpose of you being here is to learn how to win, not just in the market, but to ultimately develop the winning habits that winners have when they trade and also elsewhere in life. So this is a total package. The primary thing that we focus on right away is mindset. There's a reason for that. Mindset is the only way that you'll be able to do anything with any level of consistency. You ever notice how people like to start stuff and they don't finish it? You know what that is? That is the lack of discipline. See, when people are not disciplined, they start, stop. Everything is always half-assed and incomplete. You cannot do that when it comes to freedom. Freedom has a price tag. You got to pay the price or you don't have it, and that's it. Now, the price of freedom is simply developing the right mindset. Understand what I'm saying? Developing the right mindset. I'm just pulling up this chart, taking a look at something. Developing the right mindset and ultimately putting yourself in a position where you can apply and execute that mindset over and over again. See, that is going to lead to the consistency that you find or have found me able to execute when it comes to trading. There's a reason that I'm so consistent. Has more to do with mindset than anything else. Way more. It's not because of the strategy, because there is no strategy. It's not because of the method. It's not because I know a bunch of stuff and I'm not telling you about it. Oh, well, Mark, he's not sharing everything. You know, I know this is extra stuff he be doing. He ain't telling us. No. It's literally the opposite. Not only do I tell you everything that I do in the market, I show you the exact way that I have developed the mindset that I have and how I maintain the mindset. The way that I maintain the mindset is 301 on repeat. That's how I do it. 301 mindset on repeat. Those are 2 videos, and they're actually in the 301 playlist that I sent you when you first signed up. For many of you, that's the only playlist that you have. I've actually been doing that recently on purpose because I want you to know right away that there's only 2 videos that you need to watch. Now, if you want to plug into the live trainings, you know, that take place, you can either attend them live or you can watch the replay. The replay is in the larger playlist, the main playlist that we have, okay, which has close to 700 videos in it. Now, again, there's a method to the reason I do things the way that I do is because I know how people do. So in order for you to be focused, I have to focus you right away. The only time I'm going to give you the main playlist is if you want to watch the recordings as far as the replays. So some of you can't attend live training, but you want to watch the previous night's recording, and that's fine. No issue with that. But do not skip watching 301 and 301 Mindset. Okay? I don't care if you miss the live training, as long as you watch 301 and 301 Mindset every day. It's that important. That is the foundation for everything that we do. Things that are discussed on live training are reinforcement of what you're going to learn in 301. So if you don't know what 301 is or what it is teaching you, how are you going to understand what I'm talking about on live training? See how that works? There's a reason why I'm telling you to do things the way that I am. Okay? So follow instructions, follow directions, don't deviate, and plug in. Stay connected. Stay close to the fire. Okay? Stay close. Stay close. Group chat is up 24/7. There's a lot of activity that goes on in the group chat all day. A lot of recordings are being shared and posted now. A lot of engagement, a lot of feedback. The purpose of the recordings is so that you can give your feedback on what you saw. See, what we do here is observe the market. So when you see recordings, they may or may not be of a trade that someone took. It might not even be a trade. It might just be an observation. You understand? The objective here is not to trade. The objective here is to win trades. There's a difference. So in order to win trades, you need to learn and understand the process that leads to winning trades. That's where 301 comes in. It's teaching you the process. It's conditioning you to execute the process. This is where 301 mindset comes in. Your mindset has to be conditioned to do the same thing over and over again. If your mindset is weak, you won't do something over and over again because you'll feel it's boring, monotonous. Oh, I got to keep doing this. I'm going to skip around. I think I'm going to jump over here to do a different training and watch something else. But that's not what the instruction was. So you take it upon yourself to deviate from the instruction, right, and do what you want to do. And what happens in the process? What happens? All you do is slow yourself down. Why would you do that? So don't slow yourself down. Don't slow your progress down. Follow instructions out the gate. Execute the process that you're learning. And that's it for now. Oh, but Mark, but when do I take the trade? You don't. Huh? 301 on repeat. I explained it to you. You don't take the trade. See, what happens is you're learning a process that you execute over and over again, and instead of you looking for a trade, trades look for you. They find you, in fact. You'll never have to look for a trade. The trade will find you when you apply the process the correct way. That's what you're learning. You're learning how to apply the process. Well, Mark, how do we do that, though? Observation. You need to learn how to look at the market, and you need to learn how to understand and interpret what you're looking at. 301 or repeat. Okay? So everything is laid out. Like, you don't have to try to do anything else or feel like you're not doing enough. Oh, but Mark, I don't even have a demo account. That's fine. Oh, Mark, I didn't open my live account yet. That's fine, too. Oh, Mark, I opened my live account. Cool. You know what to do, right? Don't fund it yet. You should not be doing anything yet. You need to become familiar with the platform. You need to paper trade first. You need to record. How many successful recordings do you have where you're able to apply the process and see MRMH? How many times have you done that? Have you done that yet? Or you haven't done it yet? All right, you're not ready to trade. You see how this works? You're held accountable for what you're doing. And make no mistake about it, if you don't listen to me and follow instructions, you're going to have problems. That's just it. And I'm trying to catch you before it gets to the point where you are so frustrated that you end up leaving and quitting on your freedom. See, I don't want you to do that, because what was the purpose of you coming here if that's what you end up doing? Why'd you come here? We don't know nothing about quitting. We don't know anything about that. So it makes no sense for you to come somewhere where that's not even in the vocabulary. That word is not even in our conversations. You understand? You came here for freedom. Freedom has a price. You see what the price is. It's going to require that you deal with yourself. It's going to require that you develop the right mindset. It's going to require that you don't trade. But Mark, I thought I came to learn how to trade. No, we don't trade. We win. There's a difference. By the time we end up in a trade, it's because the time was right, not because the trade was good. This is very powerful, what I'm telling you, especially if you're new. Especially if you're new. What I'm saying to you right now is like gold. It's just gold all in your ears, because I'm laying it out for you from beginning to end, what it is that you need to do. And it's the same thing every time. Well, 301, that's what you need to do. Oh, well, how will I know? You'll just know. See, the thing about it is that you're not stupid. You know what you're doing. You'll know when you're ready. What happens is when you apply everything I'm telling you to, like plugging in, starting to record when you observe, posting, sharing, getting feedback, what happens is when you start getting feedback and you realize that, oh, man, I thought that was MRMH. But then you post in a group, and everyone's like, nah, that ain't it. You're like, wait, huh? That's not MRMH? Nope. Oh, man, I thought that was MRMH. Nope. See, when you get corrected, that lets you know that you're not there yet. So if you know that you're not there yet, are you thinking about trading yet? Of course not. So you see how being held accountable automatically brings you to the place where you'll know. You'll know when you're ready. How are you going to know? Because the feedback that you get is going to be the feedback that applies to you doing it the right way. When you post that video and everyone's like, yeah, that's it right there. Uh-huh. That's the one. Yep. Yeah, that's the right time. Man, the market was stable. Yep. Sure was. When you start hearing that from your recordings and your posts, that's how you'll know. So you want to know how you'll know, that's how you'll know. See? So, again, just plug in. You don't got to do nothing fancy. It's just rinsing and repeating of the same process over and over again. That's all it is. I'm just watching something real quick. looking to see how committed this movement is. Pretty committed. See, that would be tight right there. So this is why observation is required, because you look at instances like that just to see how the market is moving. And it's your observation that allows you to understand what the market is doing. You see? That wasn't an instance where, oh man, is that a trade? I'm not looking at this just now for the purpose of a trade. I'm looking at the market. I'm looking to see if the time would be right for a trade, if there were a trade. See, the reason that we win trades is because the time is right. So we're conditioning ourselves to recognize the right time. So that means you'll only see trades at the right time. But before you see a trade, you recognize the right time. You see how that goes? So this entire process that we use is designed to force you to develop the habits that creates that. See, you're learning a process. You're not learning how to trade. It's easy to trade. You want to trade? Open up a ticket. Click place order. Boom, you win the trade. There you go. But that's not what we do. See, we don't just take trades. We don't do anything arbitrary. Matter of fact, we don't take trades at all, period. What ends up happening is we apply the process that we learn and that we're conditioned to execute, and we recognize stability in the market. And once the trade comes, we end up in the trade because the time is right. That's a mouthful, right? That's what we do. That's what you're learning how to do. All right? All right, so feel free to ask whatever your questions are. Don't be shy. I will be doing exams. I will be doing observation. I will be asking you guys for feedback. You know, we will be heavily engaged throughout the training. And just, you know, feel comfortable to ask your questions, whatever they might be. If I need to unmute you, I'll do that also. You know, we'll just go with the flow of the training, wherever the vibe takes us. Okie doke. All right, so let me come over to the chat and see what y'all are talking about. Rant man on the check-in. Carrie said, I'd rather be here training than listen to that political circus. Yeah, we already know, man. I'm so glad that the training intersected with that. I am, actually. I'm glad. I probably would not even be watching that if I wasn't training. But, you know, I'm just saying. I agree. 301 to freedom. Danny Gonzalez in the building. What's happening, man? Carrie says the reason is 301 for life. 301 mindset, 301 on repeat. All facts. Yep. Sadiq, you can see it make a hard elevation. Yes. Stacy, did you fix your issue? I think it's on your end. There's no issues to my knowledge on my end, so you should be able to hear. Just log out, log back in. He said Redman got inboxes today. Man. Ramon, growth is exponential when you ask the right questions and show your recordings. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you see how the growth is speeding up. Y'all see it. Y'all can see just from how people sound now in the chat with responses and the feedback. There's a lot of elevation going on. Yes, indeed. Sadiq, you don't got to apply the protocol to watch. That yes, correct, to observe. Absolutely. Ramon, what's up, man? All right, Sadiq, I see you on the unmute. All right, so let's do, I want to do some exercises, definitely. So we'll wait for this next binary to come up, and then we'll start doing some of those. So, in general, in general, the market is a very interesting thing to familiarize yourself with, because it's not what it appears to be, and it is what it appears not to be. Like, whatever you just think that it is not. And everything that you thinking that it's not, is what it actually is. So it's an interesting dynamic. This is something that I personally have become aware of just over time, you know, just through experience with the market, dealing with the markets in general, and understanding what things mean, you know. For example, on this platform that we use, when we refer to the market, we're referring to the indicative price. So the indicative price, for example, is when you pull up a ticket and you see this price here where it says indicative price, that represents the market. So anytime that we make a reference to the market, we're talking about this number right here, indicative price. You can also see it when you open up the binary ladder, which is over here in this area. So typically when you first log into the platform, it looks like this, and then like this is blank. So you'll see this, and when you open up 5 minute, then it opens up the 5 minute binaries. So these are the different markets that you can trade. The market that I personally observe and trade is the euro dollar. So when I open that up, it opens up the ladder for that market. Okay, so this is the market. This is the indicative price right here. This is showing you where the market is, right? Now, when you look at these options, the reason that these strike prices are where they are right now is because of where the market is right now. You see? So like you can just put little things together to begin to understand the dynamic of what's going on. I'll give you something else. Right now you see how there's no pricing on these options. The reason is because the movement of the actual market is so far away from these strikes that there's no opportunity to enter into any trades at this point. And if you look at the chart, you see exactly what I'm talking about. Like this is the bottom strike price, and the price of the market is all the way down here. So it's so deep in the money that there's no pricing even on this bottom option. You see? So this basically is, you know, the way that you're making sense of what you're looking at. Because, you know, to somebody that is inexperienced, they're like, man, you know, why is there's no pricing on these? I can't take a trade. Now, that's interesting for someone to say that, but it gets real interesting when you understand why there's no pricing. See? So that's what we deal with. We deal with all of the whys. Not, oh, is this a trade? Is that a trade? Is this a good trade? Is this a bad trade? We're not dealing with the surface level. We're going way deep, 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 deep beyond that, where we actually are understanding the market and understanding how and why things manifest the way that they do on the platform, right? So it explains everything when we observe. Like if you just take the time to look at things, you start to make sense out of everything that you see. But you have to have the actual ability to observe and understand. And that's only going to happen through training. Like you have to be guided and coached into what things are so that you understand how to navigate what you're looking at. That's what training here does. It does all of that. And this is why I always encourage you guys to ask questions, because just a simple question opens up a lot of understanding, not just for yourself, but for others in the group. Okay? Remember that everybody starts at the same. Like there was a time where the majority of people here, they didn't know what was going on at all. They didn't even know what a strike price was. You know, I'm talking about strike price. They're like, what's that? Didn't know what a strike was. So that just goes to show you how patience, observation, taking your time, and just allowing the training to guide you, it really just opens up your eyes to everything. I mean, literally. All right, so look. Now you see how all of these strike prices recalibrated? So now you have a whole new set of strike prices, and now you see pricing on the options, right? These options are available to trade, but the whole purpose of you wanting to trade an option is not so you can get the best price, you know, so you can have the best risk reward. There's only one goal: to win the trade and to make money. That's it. So options are very powerful instruments because it's very simple the way that it works. All you have to do is be correct about where the price of the indicative ends relative to the strike price that you selected to trade. That's all you got to do. There you go. Go get him, Tiger. So it creates a false sense of success that people are going to have when they think about how simple it is to trade. But the problem is the market moves. So it's like, wait, oh man, I lost that. How did I lose that? See, so what they do is they start dibbling and dabbling into taking trades, and they don't understand the market, so they don't understand why they lost the trade. They're looking at it 1 minute, they're like, oh, well, I saw it going up. Why didn't it stay up? How did it end up all the way down here? And how did I lose that trade? Did I lose that trade? I got an email that said that the payout was 0. Yeah, you lost. You see, so just understanding things from the basic level opens up the door to everything else that we understand. And the reason that I'm even doing that is to show you to what degree you don't know anything at first, and how learning only the right things to do and only the things that are relevant for what we want to do, which is what? Win. And that's it. That's all we're here to do, win. So you're learning only the things relevant for winning these trades, period. And understanding the market itself and how it behaves and what it means is the key. So I'll give you an example. Understanding reasons not to be in the trade is probably the best guidance that you could have. Not reasons to take the trade, reasons not to. And the simplest way to make that determination is by asking yourself a simple question. When you look at a trade setup, ask yourself, would I have wanted to be in that trade? That's it. That's it. That's all you got to do. Just ask yourself that question. All right, so we're going to do a little exercise here. Actually see the market position in itself right here, right? So let me just wait a little minute. See what this does, and I'm going to see if I can create an exercise out of this. It's looking like I'm going to be able to. All right, here's the exercise. All right, so cool. Now, you see where the price is currently. Is the price going to stay above this line? Yes or no? And type your answer in. Is the price going to stay above this line right here? So, in other words, is that blue candle going to stay above or inside of this box right here that I just drew? Is it going to stay in there? Let me look and see what y'all are answering. A lot of y'all are saying yes. All right, cool. Let's watch. Look at that. A lot of information there, huh? A lot of information. Now, everyone that answered yes, tell me why you said yes. Tell me why you said yes. Let's see. E said speed and distance. Jeff said it was stable. Ramon says it showed commitment. Bilal, there was speed in the market. Sharonda said it was committed in the distance. Okay. David Jr., committed to movement and position. Sadiq, I think commitment. Ron said position and stable. Liza said there was a signal of a wick from the prior candle. Liza, eventually you won't talk like that. We working on it. But I understand what you're saying. Mike Martinez, solid candle. Carrie, the wick on the candle before our exercise. Not sure what you're trying to say there. What are you saying, Carrie? Type that again without the typos. Sadiq said no protocol was there. Interesting response. Ramon, last binary also showed commitment, even though some instability is showing. Transitioning. Now that's what I'm looking for right there. Transitioning. Now, listen. Oh, okay. Hold on. Before I go into that, Carrie said red candle prior to blue. So Carrie, so what does that have to do with anything, though? That there was a red candle before the blue one. Liza said there were more buyers than sellers. Obviously. I like that, Liza. That's funny. You're going to catch it. Don't worry. Yeah, you're going to catch it. I just asked somebody something. What I just said? Oh, Carrie. You said red candle prior to blue. What does that mean? He said the wick at the bottom transitioned the movement to reverse course. Okay. All right. Now, I know that you guys do that. I want you to try to get out of the habit of doing that. And the reason that I'm saying that is because when you look at candle wicks and stuff like that, remember that that is in the past. I want you to always look at the market now. Always. Observe now. Like, look at how it's moving now. So anytime that you're looking at movement, environment, right? You're looking at environment, you're looking at behavior. Always think in terms of dominance. What speed is dominating? What behavior is dominating? Because it helps you to understand like where you're at on the map. It's like having GPS and knowing where you are. That's what I want you to learn how to do all the time. So I'll give you an example. Just like when we talk about commitment. Now this move was committed, but it also was not stable. The position was committed. The movement wasn't. There was instability in the movement. It came up, pulled back, and then pushed back up again. Now that's letting you know that the market is not just stable. However, the market is transitioning into becoming stable, okay? Which has nothing to do with the color of the candle. It has nothing to do with, oh, well, because I saw a wick on the other candle, or because the other candle was a hammer, the other candle was this or that. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. You're looking at the movement of the market. Every time it moves, you're looking to see if the move commits. If the move does not commit, why? What happened? See, because if you look at this candle, just as an example, if I just pulled up the chart and I'm looking, I don't know that this went up, down, up. I don't know that it did that. I wasn't looking. I'm looking, all I'm seeing is how it finished. You understand? Now, you begin to elevate in your understanding when you realize why it ended up pushing back up. That this is how you elevate. And the reason behind that is that it pushed back up because the position was committed, even though the movement was not fully stable yet. And there's a difference. But the question still remains, based on how that moved, would you have wanted to be in that trade? Like, were you good with just being in that trade? Hey, I'm taking this, I'm in. If your answer is no, then you know that the time is still not right yet. It's not there yet. See, it doesn't change just because you're looking at this environment and you see that there's more movement, you know, these candles are more solid. All of that is cool. But just because you got solid candles does not mean the movement is stable yet. Same way that when the market is ranging, right, and there's wobble in the range, it's still not stable yet, is it? The range could be stable, but the movement's not yet. What do you continue to do? Observe until you see what? You see the movement stable too. So when we talk about commitment, we're talking about stability. You want it fully committed. Fully. Not, oh, I think I want to do this, but I don't know. I think about changing my mind. That's what movement does that. Like, oh, you thought I was coming down here? Nah, I'm gonna come up here. You know what? I don't think I'm gonna stay up here. I think I'm gonna come back. Is that a trade that you would want to be in? No, it's not. So you know the time is still not right. However, you are seeing transition. You're seeing it transition into the full commitment. And that's what I want you to realize when you observe. Don't ever think that just because the candles look a certain way, that the market is a certain way. Don't base your determination off of the candles. Didn't I say that yesterday? Said that in training yesterday. Do not base the determination off of the candles, ever. You base your determination off of what? Your observation. You need to see what it's doing. You need to see how it is transitioning. Look, the movement is still doing the same thing that it did on that other one. The difference is this time it came back up and it didn't push back down. See that? So that behavior is still there. That instability is still there. And on this one, it was at the end of the candle. Instead of it going down, up, down, it just went down and then back up. It's not stable. It's not committed yet. See? So this is it's the exact same scenario as thinking that just because the market is slow, it's going to be stable. No. The market can be slow and unstable. So you can't do the same thing when the market is moving faster either. Don't just assume, oh, well, it's moving fast. That's what I want. No, you don't want it to move fast. You want it to move however it's moving and be stable, period. Fast or slow. Its stability It's phase two. What's the behavior? That's what we're concerned about. So hopefully I'm hoping that everyone is keeping up with that, because my message when it comes to that is always going to be the same. You observe until you see and recognize stability. That is when the market is committing to the movements. See, power move only means that there's power in the movement and the movement is committed. That's power move, because there's so much power in the movement during stability that wherever it goes is where it stays. That's a power move. Power move don't mean fast, big candles. Power move means force and momentum during stability in the market. So wherever it goes, that's where it's going, and that's where it's staying. That's power move. Same way that when you're in a tight range, market is tight, stable, holding, not wobbling. Make sense? So it doesn't matter if it's fast or slow, meaning that regardless of what the environment is, we are seeking stability. We're not seeking the environment. Always remember that. We are seeking stability, not the environment. All right, let me come back into the chat real quick. Ramon said that's not a guaranteed scenario, which shows that behavior supersedes any candle reading you might have learned in the past. That is right. Right. Ramon is saying behavior supersedes candle patterns and all of that. Yes, absolutely. Sharonda says, I just figured because the market was transitioning into stability and the committed direction of the market. Okay, you're saying that was your reason for saying that it was going to stay above? And that's cool, because that is actually very clear. Like, I understand exactly what you're saying, and that makes sense. That makes sense. Ramon, wicks are not necessarily an indication of a reversal. Facts. That is a fact. Sadiq got a question. Sadiq, you can type it. When I get down there, I'm going to read it. Ramon said, I would have been sweating some. So that means nope. Jamal, define again stable movement. When the market remains where it moved. The less of it not doing that, the closer that you're getting to full stability. So there are degrees of the market making its way to doing that fully. You understand what I'm saying? There are degrees of the market making its way to ultimately move and stay where it moves. Every time it moves, stays, moves, stays, moves, stays. Regardless of what the speed is or is not. Doesn't matter if it's fast or slow. Wherever it moves, it stays. That's stability. Now, if it's not fully stable, it's transitioning. And you need to know where on the map the transition is. Like, wait, are we close to stability or not really? When you look at the market will tell you, no, you ain't close, bro. I'm whipping. I'm whipping. Now watch me whip. See, market's just whip, nay, and you all day. It's telling you it ain't there yet. Market's like, watch me whip, watch me nay. Look, let me show you. Jay Carter, I didn't see your question. Repost that for me, please. Sadiq want to get unmuted. All right, so is everybody clear on what I'm saying about that? Oh, you didn't want to put it in yet? All right, hold on. So do you want me to read that or respond to that question? Or what you saying? What you talking about, Willis? I can answer? Thank you. All right, so I see the first part. Correct. What you're saying is correct. There's a huge difference between the market ebbing and flowing and just straight reversing. The ebb and flow takes place during and throughout a committed move. Reversing, it ain't committed. And you know the difference just from how it moves. You can look at it and tell. You can look. So put it like this. The closer that you get to less and less of any movement that is not moving and remaining where it moves to. The closer that you get to that, the closer that you're getting to full stability in the market. The market does do that. And it does it more often than you think. Everything else is in between somewhere. It's transition. So, excuse me, the power move comes when the market is stable, has momentum, and then positions itself. And you see that unfold beautifully. It positions itself, and typically what I like to see is when it positions itself is actually on the other side of the strike. And then the momentum is going across the strike. I like to see that, personally. And what's funny is that some people don't like to trade that way. I do. I take those. Because that power movement is more of a representation of the market committing to what it's doing. If there's so much power behind the move that it's capable of pushing it across a line, just think about that. It's like, damn, that was a lot of force. Yup. So if you know that there's already stability present, when that power move is about to set up, I want to see it set up on the other side and push straight through that line, because what it tells me is that that's how committed it is to that movement. That's how committed it is to the direction that it's moving in. Where there ain't no question about it. It's like it don't have no respect for this strike at all. Matter of fact, ain't no strike price there. I'm just going. And that's how you see it actually set up. See? So that's what I'm talking about. Let me pull this up real quick. Just take a look. Now, see right here, I'm looking at the movement of the market right now. If you look at the way that this is moving beautifully right now. Now, you need to know if the timing is not deceiving you, though. So just now, you saw how it went up to 7. Now it's come back to 5. You got to keep watching. Look at the clock. 15 seconds. You're still watching. You're looking to see what it's doing. Look. It's at 5. When it's high as 7, it's at 5 now. and it's holding above this strike. That's a lot of information. That right there was a whole bunch of information. We already know from back here the market has been transitioning for a time already, right? This right here is one of the first instances where you saw that the market moved to a position and it only ebbed back by 2 micropips. And it held a position. Well, where was the actual commitment? The commitment was above this strike price, and it was in this direction where it is already. This could have just as easily been under the strike price, and it moved down. Again, it's about the movement. Well, when it moved down, did it stay down? Yeah, it stayed down. Well, how far down did it stay? Stay real close to where it moved. All right, we're getting closer and closer. Then there comes a time where it don't move back at all. Everywhere it moves, it stays. So let me just box this in, because this is the first instance where we actually saw that type of movement as we've been observing these last minutes of the binary. So looking under the microscope, this is the first time that it actually did that with the least amount of movement coming back. You're looking at the movement. Has nothing to do with the trade. Oh, but was that a good trade? No, we're not looking at a trade right now. We're trying to recognize if the timing in the market is right for if a trade does set up, it's going to hold, period. You see? This also lets me know that if the market is stabilizing, that it could either slow down or speed up. In either instance, if it speeds up, stability should be there if the market's stable. If it slows down, stability should be there if the market is stable. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what the environment is. This is what I'm saying about phase one. Phase one reveals itself to you. All right, market is moving fast. All right, that's cool. But what am I really interested in knowing? Is it stable? That's what I need to know. So the entire observation process is to make the determination as to whether the market is stable or not. Not if it's fast or slow, or if it's a good trade or a bad trade. Was there a trade? Oh, no. Was that a trade? Well, yeah, I got to work on the timing. My entry was, nah, it don't have nothing to do with that yet. Ultimately, it don't have anything to do with that at all, because the parameters will unfold for you when the time is right. All the market has to do is move in position. And it's right there in front of your face, right there in front of you. It'll be right there. You don't have to look for it. It's like it'll fall in your lap. All right, so we coming up on the last minute of this next binary. We're going to continue to watch. So again, remember, this is the first instance here that we saw in the last minute that level of stability. We are continuing to watch. And I'll give you an example of what I would want to see here. What I would want to see is that there's so much momentum and power in the movement. Like you see, I was coming back up, and now it's looking like it's trying to push up. That's already let me know, all right, this ain't going to happen, what I would want to see. But what I would have wanted to see is that it came down here, and then it positioned itself right above this strike. And that power and that force is so heavy that it pushes it straight through this strike right here. That's a power move. What it starts doing when it does this is it's not actually setting up for that. And this actually is looking like it's setting up. But you see how it started all the way up here? See, I don't like that, because this right here was instability. And I saw that. I saw the fact it came down, came back up, ended up here. Then it positioned itself here. I don't like that. Why you come all the way back up here? If there was power in this move, it would have done it from here. It didn't do that. It came up here, set up here. Look at what it did just now. Dipped below the strike and then came back up again. But you already knew that this movement was still present, and that the timing of it could be right now, which it is. What did you do? You did nothing. You just watched that. Like, all right, that ain't it yet. Still not there yet. This is light bulb moment for a lot of people, I know. A lot of you got a light bulb just from that explanation just now. And how I'm pointing out certain things. See, if this had real power in that movement, this right here would have just stayed right there or even pushed down a little more. Then in the last minute, it would have set up over here above this strike, and the momentum would have been so heavy, and the market is showing you that it would have been stable because it didn't come back up. It would have shown you that if it was stable at that point. It didn't show you that. Let you know, nah, I ain't there yet. And this is the proof right here. Look at what it did in the last minute over here. Big wick underneath the candle. And you saw the movement. Dipped under here. Came back up here. Is this making sense? So again, see, we're seeing through all of this. Like, you're looking at different speeds. You're looking at different environments in the market. Look at what's happening. 1 minute is fast, then it's starting to slow down, then it's doing all this extra movement. It's not there yet. It's still in transition. Let it do what it's doing. We ain't trying to force nothing. All we got to do is observe. Now, what happens when the market ultimately does stabilize again? When that thing gets stable again and it's in solid, and then the market decides to have some momentum behind the movement, power move could easily set up. Market could also slow down and start ranging. In either instance, what are we looking for? The stability. So it doesn't matter what it's doing, we're seeking out the stability every time. That's the key to what we do. That's what the entire process allows you to do when you just stick to the process. See, so you don't got to deviate from nothing. You don't have to do anything different. All you're doing is observing. That's it. Yep. Otis is not only committing to the direction 1 MP at a time, but it's trying to commit to the position it's moving to. Right. See, and what happens is you see the market attempting to do it during transition. You're also looking at, well, is it getting closer to doing it? Or is it not getting closer to doing it? You see what I'm saying? So you're measuring yourself as you observe. You're like, nah, this is actually getting more unstable. All right, cool. Keep watching. Remember that the market transitions. It gradually makes its way into stability. So when you're looking, you keep observing to see where it is. Like, why? Where is it within the transition? Is it closer or further? And this is how you keep yourself where you need to be, because you don't assume that it's there. You don't look at the setup and say, oh, look at this setup. This is setting up. Ooh, let me get ready to take this trade. No, we are still observing. We're looking to see if the market is stable or not. You don't care about no setup. Look, right here, observation. We're going to just look. We're going to see, where does it look like it's going to commit? All right, cool. You see how the speed is here, this momentum? Now you see that it is moving back up. So there's momentum in the market, but the question is it stable? Let's watch. All right. Now, is it stable? No. Is it stabilizing? Yeah, it's stabilizing. It's stabilizing. We continue to observe. Do the same thing again on the next binary. You never take anything the market does and make an assumption. I'm not going to take this and assume just because this is a big long candle, it's going to keep going down. I ain't going to do that. I'm also not going to assume just because the momentum is coming up during the last minute that it's going to stay up. I ain't going to assume that either. What am I going to do? I'm going to observe. I need to know what the market actually is doing to make sense out of everything that it is actually doing. Like, well, all right, so what's your analysis, Mark? Well, it's obvious that the market is not stable yet, but it is stabilizing. How do I know that? Because it came back down, but it didn't come all the way back down. It could have came all the way back down. Could have done that. See? So I'm looking at the dominance. Now I have something to use as a reference for the next binary. If I keep seeing that at the end it's still doing this, I know that, all right, it's gradually doing it a little less. All right, that one wasn't as bad as the last one. All right, that one wasn't as bad as the last one. Next thing you know, it didn't do it. And you're like, oh snap, that one held all the way through. That's the first time I saw that one. You see? So your observation is allowing you to interpret in real time what the market is actually doing. Not because you want to take a trade, because you want to recognize if the market is stable or not. If it's not stable, is it stabilizing? Is it getting closer to it or further away from it? Where is it at in transition? And knowing where you at on the map is everything at all times. You know what environment you're in. Right now, you know that you're in a momentous environment. There's more momentum in the moves. It don't mean a power move is coming. Doesn't mean that. And you're not even looking for that. What you're looking for is the market to stabilize. Then it can decide what it wants to do. It might turn into a power move. It might turn into a range. See? We don't make that determination. The market does. Our job is to observe. Y'all catching this, right? I know y'all catching this. Oh yeah, David Jr. said breaking it all the way down to pieces. Yep. Breaking it down, man. Ramon said this topic is everything tonight. Ability to understand the transition between stability and instability is the key to progress further in the elevation of your skills by not confusing instability with a power move. Come on, Ramon. My mans. Yeah, boy. That's it. Oh, y'all caught that? That's it. What he just said. What he just said. All right, look, let's observe this one. So we're going to look at this one. So you see how this is moving. It's establishing its move, but you don't know if the move is fully committed yet. We saw from the last binary that the market is attempting to stabilize. Let's see if it's still doing it. Let's see. This movement looks different already, don't it? It looks different. Look at how it's moving. Now here's the timing. We in the last of the binary. Is this move committed? Is that a committed move? You see, it's doing it less. Did a little tiny bit towards the end, but the move was different. See, move was different. Stabilizing still, and we're closer to stability now. You just observed it. You just saw it. This is how we do, man. This is how we do. So your observation, this is how your observation leads you to whatever the market decides it wants to do at the time. And when it stabilizes, you'll be ready. When it positions itself during stability, you'll be ready. You'll already know. You're like, yeah, I saw this transition. I observed it. I saw it with my own eyes. I saw this. You literally are observing so you can see how the market transitions. Like, yeah, I caught it. I saw it. And that's how we do, man. That's how we do. This is good tonight, man. Somebody said it might turn into a Power Ranger. Oh, snap. J. Carter said, I've wondered if it's unstable before, but I've never wondered if it's stable. That's hard. See, because stability is obvious and it's without question. You don't have to wonder when you see it. Sadiq, did your question get answered in that dialogue? I know you said you had a question earlier. You saying no because you want to unmute, man. You ain't slick. You ain't slick. He's like, nah, I got to unmute tonight. I'm going to say no. Oh, man. All right, hold on.
And Pat. Don't forget Pat.
Hello?
What's up, man?
What's up?
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to cap, Mark. I don't want to cap, so I ain't fronting. But you know me. I really have to. I have to understand before I move forward with it. And the only thing that I don't get is that commitment and power move, when it happens, are we hold on, let me get my question. Like, you unmuted me fast, but I got my question. Okay, hold on. When we are when we notice, when we recognize that power move, are we supposed to wait for the next 5 to establish itself, or is that last binary it, so to speak? I don't know if I'm saying it right. So I was writing my question down, and I was just going to inbox you because I didn't want to take up time. And for those who got it, that's cool. But for me, I really need a little bit more. You know what I mean? So I don't want to take up no time. You know what I'm saying? But I just really want to know, when I'm looking at it, I understand it when you're saying it, but I have no reference to go from. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I could go to 301 and put it on repeat. You know what I mean? It's like, this is new. So maybe it's just me. I'm sorry, Mark, but maybe it's just me. But at the same time, I'm really not. I had posted what I thought was it earlier, and my feedback was commitment. I got 2 commitments. So when I looked at it again, I was like, oh, nah, it's not committed. So I caught that. But then when you posted yours, like, yours is different. It's more solid. You know what I mean?
Right.
And mine and ours could be a little more. And I don't want to say nobody really don't know. If you got it, you got it. Okay, that's cool. But when I look at yours, see, I'm judging mine off yours, not what I recorded, but what I see you're doing, what you're doing. And that example that you put in the chat earlier, when it kind of like, it was we had the blocks and everything was there, and then you said that when you see it, when you see it, I'm rambling. I'm rambling, bro. But I know what I'm trying to say, but I can't articulate it properly in question form. So I was writing it down while you was talking, and I got my little points here. And my point one is that it's skill. Number one is skill, and you have been doing it. So now that you have chose to reveal this to us in this manner, it's there, but it's not there for me personally. I can't speak for nobody else. Like, I know it when I see you do it, but when I'm watching a market, I could miss it. You know what I mean? Or I could not see it, or it's not really there. Maybe because I'm trying to record it and to show you in the chat, but maybe I'm curved. Maybe I'm. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you what
it is. It's kind of the same.
We get feedback. Turn your speakers down a little bit.
All right.
Because I'm hearing me.
All right. How about now?
Hello. All right, that's a little better. All right. Okay. So what you're doing is exactly the reason why I don't tell people where to see MRMHs at. And it's just simply, when you have an image in your head, you try to find that image when you observe yourself. So like, every time that you look, when you don't see that same thing, it's like, oh, I'm not seeing what Mark is seeing. When that was only one instance of what it is that I'm showing you. That's not the instance of what it is. So in other words, like, I'm not showing you this because this represents the setup or the trade that I want you to find. I'm showing you how the market looked.
Yeah, but how do you do that, Mark? Like, when you trying to tell us something, it be in real time. Like, that's what messed me up. Like, I'd be like, yo, how could you do that? Like, it's crazy to me, bro. You know what I mean? But
all it is because what I'm doing is, as I'm doing the real-time observation, I'm actually gradually observing the way that I normally would. And I'm explaining how I'm observing, what I'm looking at, what it means, and that's why I was like, oh, man, this is good. Man, I'm understanding when he does it, but then when I try to do the same thing, it don't look like that. And all that is simply you being able to navigate throughout the transition periods that the market has, which is all the time. Like, the market is always in transition until it stabilizes.
Now, if you had an established video or something, now I could go back. I have it. I'm going to do it first thing in the morning. But if you had an established video, like say Commitment and Power Move is 302, and we just watch that, I will get it. But when you did it in the study today, and I was like, man, how that really was. It was left field, not left field wrong, but left field right. It was like, wow, like, how is that possible? You know what I mean? How could you explain something and it manifests at the same time? You know what I'm saying? That's crazy to me.
I know exactly.
But I get it, and yeah, I get it, and I'm just going to go back into tonight, and I'm going to watch the studies from today, and I get it. But I just kind of wanted, now if I miss the logical explanation for it, then that's on me. But, like, I get it in the replay. But for training tonight, it's like, you saying that it's there, but I don't see it. I don't see it. I see it when you say it, but I don't see it when I watch it. Maybe because I'm looking for it. Maybe that's it. I don't want to take up time, bro.
That is exactly why you're not seeing it.
You know what I mean? And since you introduced this in this last week, I've been really on it. You know what I mean? I really want to see that. Again, I have not taken no trade, so I'm not thirsty, but I wanna be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? I want that skill, bro. So if I gotta get back in the gym and keep shooting jumpers, I'm good with that. But you know what I mean? I just kind of wanted a reference to go back to and listen to over and over, so it could come to me in repetition instead of me guessing. If that makes sense.
I'm gonna tell you, there actually is a reference already for it.
So
301.
You just hurt my heart, son. You just hurt my heart. All right. Okay.
See, that's what it is. Like, that's what's so funny about all of this. It's like, this is not different than what 301 is teaching you and conditioning you to do. It's the same thing. All it is an elevated level of that thing. So when I talk about power moves or commitment is the equivalent of stability. Commitment is the equivalent of moving whole. Like, so these things are just interchangeable terminologies that I'm using, but it all means the same.
Right.
Commitment to direction. What that means? Well, moving whole.
Moving whole. But, okay. Extended moving whole. Plural extension. You know what I mean? I get it. Okay. All right. Okay.
See, and it's like that. Like that's how this is gonna unfold for you. That's why I told you and everyone else that you don't even have to try to force this understanding on yourself at this point. It's like just do what you normally do and let it unfold, because it will unfold whether you want it to or not. So I know that it's exciting and you're kind of eager to actually be able to see it. But I guarantee you that you'll end up seeing it because you're not looking for it.
No doubt. And I never wanna go too far. You know what I mean? Because I just got 301. You know what I mean? So now you introducing this new way of transitioning, commitment, extension. You know what I mean? So it's exciting for me. But at the same time, I'm kind of lost, and I'm good enough in my manhood and dealing with my own BS that I could be like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't front and be like I got it. I ain't about to type a long paragraph saying that I got it and I really don't. You know what I mean? So that's what we here for. That's what we here for. In my opinion.
That's right.
So, you know what I mean? I appreciate you on mute. I wasn't ready, though. I wasn't ready. But at the same time, I'm glad I got to say it, because me typing it, I'm not gonna get it out properly. You know what I mean? I can't do it in a type. You know what I mean? Like what I was going to do was I was going to make a voice recording and just put it in your inbox. You know what I mean? And then let you answer me accordingly. You know what I mean? But right now, I do understand what you mean, though. I do understand what you mean. It's really just 301, beloved. It's really just 301. So I'm just going to go back to the lab and just I'm going to put these last recordings from the last couple of days of studies with 301, and I'm going to put it together. And I'm gonna take it from there. But I do understand to a certain extent. You know what I mean? But the one little part that's tripping me up is the strike prices. Now it's going through one strike price to another, and it's settling. And I typed that in the chat earlier, like, oh, it wants to get where it wants to be, and then continue instability. You know what I mean? And just because it shot through one strike price to another does not mean that it's unstable, because it went 1 MP at a time. It might have jumped a little bit, but we ain't taking no trade. We observing, so it does not negate, you know what I mean, what we already know. You know what I mean? Right. So you know what I mean? I'm on it, bro. I'm on it, bro. So I appreciate the time, and I ain't capping, man. I just don't want to talk. Like, I really sometimes just have to say it out to hear myself and to hear you, sir. You know what I mean? Sometimes hearing you talk to me, it catapults me. You know what I mean? That's my own personal things. You know what I mean? So I took up enough time, beloved. All right, I got you.
You know that this is always here for you. So, you know, anytime that you want to unmute, I already told you can do so. And, you know, get whatever you need at the time, like I said. So don't
no doubt. No doubt. And, yo, man, TA for life. You already know.
That's it. 301, right. Man.
301 and repeat.
That's it.
I'm on it, though, bro. Thanks.
No doubt. All right, very good. So, yeah, and what I was going to say also specifically to you, Sadiq, is that the more that you become in tune with 301, the more this understanding opens up, because it's the same thing. So it's just like what I always say about having the foundation and always building the foundation. The more that you build the foundation, the more that all of the elevation takes place. The stronger the foundation, the more intensity in the elevation. So it's like kind of not even having an expectation to understand everything that you want to at the time, because you know, that's more just from your emotional side. It's like, man, I'm excited, I'm hyped, I want to do it. And it's like, of course, that's how we're going to feel. But we don't want to get caught up in the feeling of that and then turn that into something that is disrupting the natural process from taking place that's going to actually get us to where we're going. You see what I'm saying? So the natural process and the natural order is what you just have to allow to continue to work. It's the reason that you at where you now. Like you're now and you're understanding where you are because of 301. You'll be where you want to be and where you're excited about being because of 301. You'll understand everything I'm talking about in the extension because of 301. Not because you understand what I'm saying now. It's because you're elevating off of the foundation of 301. That's how you'll get this. Does that make sense? So just keep doing what you're doing, man. That's it. Like 301 is always the answer. The foundation is always the answer to what we're doing. Jamal, where you at? I'll let Jamal close it out. You still on here? Yeah, there you go. What's up, Deacon?
You funny. You funny. you funny. you funny. That was good. That was a little late night here, but that's good. That's good. Well, it's good. That's real good. Real good. So I was kind of listening and kind of been really thinking about 301. And since we've had 301 for the longest, you've said 301 on a repeat, right? So then now you come to us with this methodology of observing the market. And to a lot of us, we hear it as if you're telling us something new. And I've realized that you're not saying nothing new. You just, remember when we were kids and we would play Super Mario Brothers, right? We knew Mario was a bad dude when he got the flower that made him turn into fire. That's what this is. This right here is that moment where you get the flower that turns you into fire, and you realize, hey, this actually combined together explains all three dimensions of 301. So when you look at this, for us looking at it, when we look at this, we got to look at it with that mindset. All you're doing is taking 301 and retraining 301 again to us in the last couple of days. But what you've done now, you've revealed it to us in a different, I would say, you're not saying anything new. You're just enhancing, like the flower does, our abilities to see the trade. So now we understand commitment. We're leaning towards the commitment there. Before it was, do the +1, Mark, can I take it? No. Now we understand we've gone past the mark, can I take it? We're now looking to it being faithful to us. So the thing is, for it to be faithful for us, we have that first to be faithful to 301, which means going back to studying 301. So the question really is, are you telling me something new? No, you're not. Again, you're teaching us faithful. So if we're faithful to the market will be faithful to us. Okay, so let me rewind this some. Okay, let me say it again. How do you be faithful to the market? Keep your butt in 301 and the 301 mindset. Because if you're faithful in 301, you got to be faithful in the mindset because your account's going to grow because you're faithful to 301. All you're doing, again, is telling us 301 from a different dimension. It's like parallel universes, right? Same thing's happening, there's different forms of it happening. We're in that dimension now. Now we're learning how to really see the market. I mean, you were teaching us this before, right? But now we no longer see men walking as trees. We see men clearly now. This is kind of like, hey, there's a time when the party just got started now with this strategy, with this with this methodology that you've given us. We're in that realm now where we can say, you know what? Some of us will now, if we get this right, when we get this right, in 30 days, some of us can walk away from our jobs. I'm going to sip on that one. I'm drinking something. Ooh. Okay, so the key is stay in the dimension of studying 301 and just realize don't divide this, what you're teaching us. Keep it as one whole family. You're just extending it to us.
Yes.
Remember before I said to you, you've been in the secret place?
Wow.
But you just go, oh, hey, this is working. This does this. Oh, it's the same thing. Let's expand ourselves. We're expanding ourselves. So yeah, man, it's and I said it to Sadiq, man, you got this. You got it. Don't second guess yourself. Don't wonder. Step into it. Just like walk into it, like you walk into your house every day. It's inevitable. It's going to work. I'm a living witness. All of us on here are those who have been doing it for a while. It works. Just stick to the plan. Just stick to it. Don't hear this as something new he's teaching us. This is nothing new. Because if this is something new, it means he's been lying to us in the beginning. Y'all didn't think I was going to go there tonight. If he says there's something new tonight, he's been lying from day one. That's just the truth. So to be consistent and be stable, he's telling us the same thing. It's just at a heightened level. But is it at a heightened level, or is it that now your eyes have been opened to revelation of truth? Oh, now I get it. Now I understand it. This goes for all of us. It goes for me too. And this even applies to Mark. Stay with 301. Observe it at 301. And when it's committed, it's committed. When something's committed, it's going to stay. If it's committed, it's going to stay. If you don't like how it's treating you, then walk away from the trade. He or she is going back and forth. It's going from 6 to 4 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 7. No, that's not stability. That's unstable. Hope y'all don't treat your relationships like that either. That's what I'm saying. You see it acting funny, walk away. If it's not committing to you, walk away. Just walk away. Just pack yourself up and go. Keep your accounts. Because if we're trying to go for this as a life that we live and have, we can't have no BS. Let this be stability. Understand stability. This is a pure definition of stability. So, yeah, I mean, I just wanted to say, this ain't nothing new you teaching us, man. It's just we've now got a broader or wider eagle-eye view of the land and said, this is some good land right here. So, again, stay on 301. Yes. Understand commitment. If it's moved into position and everything is being faithful in that position, it's staying there. I don't care what it does. It's being faithful. It's just faithfully staying there. It's just moving along faithfully. Get on that train. Get on that train. If you sit there that's not stable, not being faithful, walk away. This goes for everything in life. I'm done, man. I'm going back to drinking my water. I'm done. We're good. This I've had enough. This is.
All right, Elder. Yes. No longer deacon.
You ain't funny. Shut up.
Awesome, man. Awesomeness. All right, y'all. We going to bed, man. Go to bed. Y'all know what it is, man. This will be available in a half hour. I'll see y'all in the group chat. That's it. Love, peace, and soul.